I was able to offer us utility billing, which is more adaptable. So we're leaning away from them as it stands for the calculations, unless, of course, we wanted to change the way the calculations are done, and that would require some homework, obviously based on previous established rates from the 90s. So we can do that. KBS is under state contract with OGS, so they would be able to give us state contract price, and I did discuss that with them a little bit, or we could put it out for proposal in the next month.
What's the choice? See what we have there.
Okay.
Can you give me any idea?
Sort of, yeah. He's definitely about 3,000 or 4,000 more at best than BAS. So if we change the calculations, BAS would work, but if we kept them the same, we would be restricted to going with a company like KBS, or staying with Harris. Okay. The proposal regarding the change in tax software, again, we can wait and get a quote with KBS as well as BAS, which they've given us a quote, and I'll get you both, if you don't have them already, get you both the utility quote as well as the tax quote combined, and then we'll wait on KBS, which again is under state contract.
The original BAS.
Yep, that's it. Okay, so I will get you the utility billing for the sewer. Old Saratoga Seniors and Turning Point Parade contracts. There is a few things. You have a chance to take a look at those. It's a generic contract for villages who have services rendered by a senior group, in the case of the parade as well. We render activities, services, and activities. Is there any questions you have regarding this? I've also sent, you'll find in your inbox, about 2 hours ago, I sent about an hour and a half ago, I sent a contracts and public gifts explaining how the village should enter into contracts based on the Office of State Comptroller and what they use for the basis of that. So basically what we would have for the Old Saratoga Seniors and Turning Point Parade is we have a contract with them, with the president or the chairperson of each organization. And we would also have a resolution that would have to be passed prior to that, which is here, resolution for the Turning Point as well as for the senior citizens. And then the contract would be a supplementary document that would go to say we are entered into this agreement and we therefore have signed and we agree that there are services provided to the Village of Victory residents. So these are the two things that we would need for each organization. Is there any questions? And the amounts are respectively for senior citizens and Turning Point Parade are $300 and $250. So a total of $550 for those two organizations, which I believe we put $600 away for. And they would be under in celebrations. There's 7550.4. You can find that in the budget. Okay. Either that or it's 4550. I think it's 7. So we'll discuss that. We can add that to new business and pass the resolutions, and then basically the resolutions authorize me to sign a contract with the two organizations in order to fulfill our commitment to them each year, which is $300 and $250.
Looking at that.
We can do it under new business if you don't mind. And the Article 78 proceeding, I put it on there. I know you wanted to discuss it, so...
Again, reaffirm my decision that we should reconsider any appeal so we can move on with the village business.
Okay.
I'm going to appeal that decision was given by the Supreme Court judge. Ask that you reconsider that and let's move on.
I think at this point in time, I'm still interested in appealing, so I'll leave it at that.
Can you explain how the village benefits from that?
I can't explain it now because it's an appeal, and I don't want to jeopardize the appeal. So I've been told by my lawyer not to discuss it.
The estimated cost?
The estimated cost would probably be around $4,500.
For your side of that equation?
For my side, yeah.
That's what you pretty much assume you can double that. It's going to cost the village $9,000.
Well, I do have the right to an appeal. So.
What are you appealing?
Tom, we'll take questions in a moment when we come to the privilege of the floor, if you don't mind. So, is that all? Yeah. New business. Grant funding for Marvin and Company. They did send a draft resolution, and I talked to Michelle again today. I talked to her several times in the last week. They were going to have a meeting today that was canceled, and what they did say is over a period of 3 years, they could take the $3,000 and spread it out. So if we do pass the resolution for the Community Development Block Grant, we could spread the payments out over a 3-year period, being $1,000 each year. I have checked with other municipalities, and they do that, so it's not uncommon if we should decide to go for the Community Development Block Grant. So there's more to come from them on that, and the draft resolution, we did receive maybe about 2 or 3 this afternoon. Maureen received it as well as I, and I don't think, did you receive it? I'll forward it along to you. I did ask her to try and send it to everybody.
I went ahead and prepared one because I hadn't gotten it from her. I did get it late in the afternoon, but I do have one already prepared for tonight, which I got back to her saying I actually just completed it.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to pass the resolution tonight supporting Marvin Company submitting an application for the home grant. For the home grant, only because it doesn't cost the village anything.
Right.
And we can submit the resolution for the home grant. I think the resolution she sent by email was for the CDBG only, was it not? I think so. Her description in her inbox was about the CDBG over the period of 3 years, but the attachment was the resolution for the home. Okay. Because it's just very generic, and it's the same one that we had done before. Okay. Yes, she did submit the Word document for the resolution. So we can take the resolution that she's got and pass it, or we could take that one, whatever one. That's the same one. Yeah, we definitely can go ahead. We can definitely go ahead with the home grant. I mean, obviously that's of no cost to the village, and as she explained at the agenda meeting, the funding was denied. So although we rated very well, they ended up going with some other things, as well as the town of Situate as a whole got funding for mobile homes and mobile home replacement. So that's okay. So do we want to go with the one we passed and so the home grant? Yeah. Okay. So, you don't have to do that. Okay. So the resolution authorizing application for the New York State Home Grant dated February 1st, 2011, whereas the Village Board of Trustees finds it in the best interest of the village to seek grant funding for rehabilitation of housing for families in a very low to moderately low income bracket. And whereas the New York State Home Program provides funding for housing rehabilitation of very low to moderately low income limits, whereas a home grant does not cost any dollar amount on the part of the Village of Victory, but requires that the village obtain work assistance for rehabilitation projects. And whereas Marvin and Company has agreed to prepare and file such home applications for grant funding on behalf of the Village of Victory, and whereas Marvin and Company is currently administering the 2008 Village of Victory Home Program, which is nearing the end of the project and has proven to be qualified and capable of carrying out all required activities for the home program. And therefore be it resolved that the Mayor of the Village of Victory is hereby designated as a representative for the home grant program and is further authorized to sign the application to provide such information as may be required to Marvin and Company in the New York State Home Program. Do I have a motion to accept the resolution as follows?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
The resolution is passed. Applying for application for the home grant program through Marvin and Company. The Saratoga Seniors and Turning Point Parade resolutions, which I've left again, we just discussed the contracts above, and now the resolutions are as follows. Resolution for Turning Point Parade contracts. At a regular meeting of the Village of Victory Board and Village of Victory of the Village of Victory in the County of Saratoga and the State of New York, held on February the 1st, 2011, the following resolution was made as indicated above. Whereas the Village Board has determined that it is in the public interest to offer promotion of the village as well as offer activities and other services to the village. Whereas the Turning Point Parade Committee has offered and provided such services to the residents of the village, therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby does approve this resolution and authorize the mayor to sign contracts with the Turning Point Parade Committee to provide support and recreational activities to the residents of the village for the fiscal year of 2010 and 11, that's correct. Village fiscal year at a cost of $250 for each contract, and it is further resolved that the form of such contract shall be subject to prior review and approval by village legal counsel. Do I have a motion to accept this resolution on Turning Point Parade contracts?
I make a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
The resolution is passed to accept the Turning Point Parade contracts. Now authorization to enter into senior citizens contracts at a regular meeting in the Village of Victory Board of the Village of Victory Board, of the Village of Victory in the County of Saratoga and the State of New York, held on February 1st, 2011. The following resolution was made as indicated above. Whereas the Village Board has determined that it is in the public interest to offer support and recreational services to the elderly residents of the village, and whereas the old Saratoga seniors have offered to provide such services to senior citizens who are residents of the village, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees does hereby approve the resolution and authorize the mayor to sign contracts with the old Saratoga seniors to provide support and recreational activities to senior citizen residents of the village for the fiscal year of 2010-2011 for the amount